Would you like to hear a joke? Women's rights. While many people view this joke as a lighthearted attempt at evoking a laugh, others see it as the root problem that is facing women in our society today.
Since the beginning of time, women have been viewed as second-class citizens or somehow inferior to men. This polluted view of the female gender is evident in many aspects of today's life, including in the second-rate compensation they receive for performing the same tasks as men. Women should receive equal pay for equal work, but this is not the case in 21st century America. Unfortunately, there are some commonly held misconceptions that have delayed the rectifying of this injustice. These misconceptions include, but are not limited to, the erroneous belief that women miss a lot more because of family obligations, that this issue affects only women, and that it is a problem that will go away over time. One misconception that has prevented women from receiving the same compensation as men is the belief that women miss more days of work because of family responsibilities. Many employers are afraid to hire women at the same wage as men because they believe that they will be out an exorbitant amount of time on maternity leave or taking care of their children. Some people attempt to explain the discrepancy in pay by claiming that certain statistics include women who have lost the job time and experience due to maternity leave. However, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that only 5.1% of all women in the workforce take more than a week off for any reason, maternity leave included, beyond the regular vacation time that they are allowed. This is only 1.8% more than men do the same. This difference does not seem large enough to justify the arguments of those who believe women miss more work than men, and as a result do not deserve to receive the same pay as men. Another commonly held misconception is that this is an issue that affects only women. Many men have a hard time understanding why they should care if women receive equal pay for equal work. The gender wage gap affects women, men, children, and future generations since women tend to spend their income on their children of both sexes evenly. In the current economic climate, it is more likely for men to lose their job than women. This means that in a lot of families, women are required to be the breadwinner for their family. The gender pay gap is adding insult to injury to the families who now have to rely on the mother's pay to support the family because the father was laid off from his job. It is estimated that 12 million families with children rely solely on women's earnings. More than 33% of mothers in working families in 48 states are the primary breadwinner of the family, and more than 60% of families with children in 42 states rely on a woman to serve as the main provider or co-provider. With statistics such as these, it is easy to see how this issue affects not only women, but men and children as well. A final misconception held by many is that this discrepancy in pay will rectify itself over in time, and that the laws that have been passed to address this problem will actually work. During World War II, when women were forced to start working in the war industries, the National War Labor Board asked employers to voluntarily make adjustments with wages to make them on par with that which they paid men. Needless to say, this voluntary request was not heeded, and the women were forced out of their jobs at the end of the war to make room for the returning veterans. Until the early 1960s, jobs were advertised according to sex. Some of the ads were advertised under the male and female listings with one small catch. The same jobs listed different pay scales. The average pay for a woman was 59% of that of a man in 1963. The Equal Pay Act was passed that year, which made it illegal to pay women lower wages for the same position based solely on their sex. This act, however, did not completely eradicate the problem. In 2008, women still made 77% of men's pay. While this is an obvious improvement, it has not solved the problem. In 2008, the first bill President Obama signed was the Lilly Ledbetter Act. The act, which was named after a woman who complained that she had been paid less than men at 19 years of service in a tire factory, increased the workers' rights to sue in a case such as Ledbetter's. It is safe to say that this discrimination will not simply go away with time. Rather, it will take policies and the active enforcement of these policies to ensure that women receive equal pay for equal work. The problem of equal pay for equal work is not a new one and will probably persist for many more years. The misconception that women miss more work than men due to child care duties has been used to explain this injustice for years, but is completely untrue. Many people wish to put this issue on the back burner and pretend that it doesn't exist. However, this issue has recently garnered more attention due to the current economic climate in our country. With many men losing their jobs and women being forced into the role as the primary breadwinner, it is becoming obvious that this issue affects not only women, but also men and children. This issue has been around for years and will not simply disappear with the time. If American citizens truly believe equality for all citizens, then this issue must be confronted head-on. For these reasons and many more, it is apparent equal pay for equal work issue that matters.